Something's missing here. Yeah, something right there is definitely missing. You've seen it on the channel before. We got a couple other videos on it. We're missing the windshield here. It needs to have a windshield. It had one at one point in time. It's been removed or broken off before we got it. So we need to put in a new windshield with a little thingy-madobber. It's a big sheet of Lexan here. It goes somewhere in there like so. These metal brackets, one goes up there, and this one here has a fancy hinge thing to lock it down and then release it so it hinges up. I have to notch this guy to get it to fit in there. I really don't know. Got all the hardware here organized. It came in one big bag. Just kind of filtered it out so we don't make the mistakes of mixing it up. Got some sealing washers here with a little gasket, as they call it. And then several M6s, hinges, and then full color picture instructions step by step. So that's pretty cool. Looks like basically we got to get the brackets attached to the windshield itself, and then we're going to try to hang it up. Basically, we attached the bottom metal bar to the Lexan windshield, the top metal bar to the Lexan windshield, and then our little flippy dippy 2 hinges. Now I guess what we're gonna have to do is hold this thing up here and figure out how we're gonna attach it to the old UTV. And you just throw it on the ground like that. That's how you do it. Yeah. Hey. When in doubt, break the ratchet strap out. As you can see, it's not necessarily the right size. This is just a universal / custom fit for a different one, not this particular one. So we got this gap here. Got this gap here and here. It's actually the same on both sides. And then it doesn't meet the top so well. So we're hitting this corner piece. That pops out on both sides. And I just don't know how to attach this right now. Originally I wanted to attach it to that tube in there. Maybe we'll still try that. Got it tucked underneath the canopy, and I think that's going to be a better option. It actually meets up nicely with the tube here on the top. The hinges are right about there, just inside this top mount, both sides, and it fits in there pretty nicely. Doesn't change the fact we'll have to fill in here on the sides, and then probably on the bottom, and maybe tilt this out so it matches the angle. You know, just tons of work. And then we'll still have to also do something to make the shifter clear the latch, or change the latch. You know, real easy. The windshield works great. Top off, we got some U-bolts that go around this main tube structure. We got, I think, 4 different spots. We got to zip those off from the top, and hopefully we can get in there and get those hinges mounted. Here's two of them. That holds water. That feels round. Half move back, but this is kind of entertaining. I thought this was attached to it, but obviously not. It had one large self-tapper screw for sheet metal drilled through the plastic, and it's just sitting there. So I don't know if we want to do something different with that when we put it back together, but that's the way that came. Now we have better access to our hinges, and we can get something made up here where we can get that guy attached. Flag's crooked. I'm gonna straighten that out. So this is where I'm gonna ask the question. Drop down in the comment section. How do you think I'm gonna attach that to the main structure of this roll cage? How should I attach it? Drop down in the comment section and let me know what you think. Get serious now and use real cutting fluid. Crank her down. Let's see if we can get through these two. Ah, beautiful. Tighten it up tighter, and real cutting fluid makes a difference. Look at that. Gonna break the sharp edges here. Shop always needs something else. We need a good way and a quick and easy way to deburr parts, especially coming off of the plasma table. So you guys tell me what your favorite solution is. I mean, a file works great, tried and true, also takes a long time. We got our attached with C-clamps up there. This normally doesn't work, but we're gonna give it a go. Hope it doesn't fall off, just to test it. It's heavier than you think. If we can get it to go up there like so. Let's see if we can test fit the shocks and see how those look. The shock mounts came with these fancy little mounts. They're shaped a little goofy. Ours is a big round, and I tried to get this to clamp on there. Not happening. I need to figure out if this is steel or aluminum. Unfortunately, this cool little piece fails the magnet test. Bolts are. Piece not so much, so we're gonna have to come up with that thread to mount the shock to. Well, that was a cool thought. So I think this piece has to be up here for it to close. So I'm looking here, trying to find something I can attach this shock to, and the problematic part is it's hard to compress, and you really want to be able to adjust it just to find the right position for the opening and the fully closed. That's why that came with a clamp. Well, clamp doesn't fit on this bar, so we need to attach something different. I was just going to make a threaded boss M8 and weld it, but I don't know where it needs to go. Leaning towards putting this in there, putting this in here to kind of act as a filler, and then we can drill it wherever we want on the inside. Just cut these little standoffs. Got our main piece we're going to mount our shock to. We're going to weld these little jobby doos on there. These are going to go right in there. So we eyeballed this, and we already broke one of the shocks trying to estimate where it goes. My fault, quality fault, I don't know. Definitely broken, so we're gonna have to get a new shock already. Let's try to position them and get the other side welded in. Find the nut, we'll give us a try, at least on this side. Yeah, that's when the clamp falls off the top. If you didn't notice, I broke one of these by, either I broke it or it's just no good. Somehow it magically came back out, but trying to gauge its location, doesn't come back out. It gets stuck there. So that's no good. No good at all. And it should be the same length of that as that. So, handy dandy internet superstore, we got us some new ones. But these have the clip-on ends on them. To fix that, I had to buy some 10mm ball studs. They should be able to pop them on there and get her rolling. There's one side. All right, let's just get the other side drilled and mounted. Woo! There we go. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. We just got the shocks installed. I'm pretty happy with how it works. All we gotta do is get the latch next. Nice. Not too hard, not too shabby. Seems pretty good, as long as we don't catch too much wind and it tries to rip it off. We'll have to take it for a test drive. But right now, all I need to do is get our handy dandy latch. And it's a 2-position latch, which ideally that latch would be fully closed. That would be a vent, and then obviously all the way open. So we're gonna try to make it such that it matches the line for the roll cage. So this is our plastic little pieces. Somewhere around in here is the best region to mount them. I'm really tempted to just drill it into the tube, but I think this will break if I try to mount it. So we're probably gonna need to get a piece on there. Got our scrap piece again here. This is a piece of that C-channel we cut off. We made the hinge mounts for out of this. Now I think we're just gonna make these mounts out of this. Got our little pieces clipped on there. Now we just need to pick where we want to put it. And like I said, we're going to try to get it so it's level. This thing is flexible, so we can kind of twist it a little bit, you know, to move her back and forth. But basically, hold it where you want it, tack it in place, and then let her burn. A couple of holes here. So we're here, might as well fill those. As soon as it touched the sides of that original hole, all that rust in there, there's nothing left of the tube. Massive hole. Yeah, we're not gonna fill the other ones. For all that monkeying around, it's filled, and probably not better, but latches. This bar not secure. So this piece here isn't broken, and that's what this piece over here is supposed to look like. We removed it already. The back half was good. The front half was missing this whole part of it. So that's just no good. But we're gonna make it good. I'm assuming there's a reason why this needs to come off. Maybe to service the dash. Maybe. We're gonna do the right thing and weld it. Nice. You can see again. A little piece up here we got stuck behind there. So what I was talking about, when this is in low range, it smacks our latch mechanism. So we need to kick this back to about there.